Hi, my name is Jon Abrahams. You might know me as Bobby from Scary Movie, amongst many others. I want to talk to you today about my choice for president in 2020. I will be voting on November 3rd for the real law and order candidate. No one will make America safer than Doofy. Vote Doofy for president 2020. This message is not paid for by any Democratic or Republican National Committee. It is solely the belief of myself that Doofy for President 2020 will make America safe again.
Many of the terms, comments, and stories you're about to hear may not be suitable for some. Listener discretion advised.
I'll give you a good reason why my house is not complete. I have a professional wrestler and a gangster rapper building my house.
All right now, boys and girls, we want to introduce...
Mom says when I wear this badge, you're supposed to treat me like a man of the law.
Dave Sheridan.
I did poop my pants a little bit on purpose. I wanted to.
Oh, so. You did it.
CJ Creech.
I actually got on Facebook a friend request from a member of ISIS this past week, which was really freaking weird.
Have you seen your beard lately?
The Dave and Creech Show.
Now here's your host, Dave and Creech.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dave and Creech Show. This is number 85. If you're happening to look back through the numbers saying, but Damien was 83, so where's 84? 84 is actually our Sex Drive cast reunion, which you can check out on this page. Obviously, Dave is not here right now. Dave is actually planning for Days of the Dead this weekend. He'll be there in Las Vegas at the Plaza Hotel this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday doing Doofy photo ops, a panel, and meeting and signing autographs for everybody that comes. So make sure you go check Dave out at Las Vegas. Our channel here has been a little bit more busier than normal. As you've seen, we're now posting Doofy 2020 stuff. We've got a campaign ad coming out soon. And I think 2 or 3 more skits that are going to release as well, as we're going to wrap up all this Doofy 2020 stuff. Finally. It's been a long time coming. But to celebrate, obviously, Doofy was in Scary Movie, and today's guest is Jon Abrahams, who played Bobby in Scary Movie. Now, we recorded this interview about 2 months ago. And without any further ado, let's go to our interview with me, Dave, and Jonny.
Yo, Jonny boy.
Mr. Dave Sheridan.
What's going on,
what is up?
Man?
Holy smokes, come on.
Yeah.
Y'all can hear me okay?
And
hey,
Creech.
Mr. Creech.
Yeah.
Creech, what's the dealie?
What's going on?
Just chilling.
Just chilling?
Yeah, chilling. Killing. I had to do it. You know how many times the movie's so old that people think that the what's that? They think that's from Scary Movie. I'm like, no, it's a Budweiser ad. Like, I have people come up to me and they're like, what's that? Like, Dad, that's a Budweiser ad. We spoofed it. Oh, I thought that was like original from Let's Kill It. No, not so
much. Not so much at all.
Well, nobody remembers the Budweiser. Now they see the memes with the killer's face going, what's that? So.
Yeah, totally. What are you doing? You're doing more Officer Doofy stuff?
Yeah, I got a little. I shot a little something because I do some conventions sometimes, horror conventions, and they're always like, "Will you dress up like Officer Doofy for the photo ops?" I'm like, I'll do it every now and then because I actually don't mind it. It's fun as hell. And but then we put together something where I was out like making people social distance and stuff like that. It's so funny. I was at the Walmart. Yeah, I got to edit it. Just now the guy was, because he's in Idaho. The guy, one of the camera guys, they never like even downloaded it was always still on his camera. So, and I was like, and he was in Idaho this week for the next 2 weeks shooting like some UFO documentary. And I'm like, I got to get that footage because my one friend had a little bit on his phone and he posted it and it kind of went through the roof, but it was just a clip and it wasn't the full edit or anything. So I was like, once that got out of the bag, I was like, we got to get it. I got to edit it now, dude, because it's, I'm going to make like a little 2-minute little short kind of thing. So
yeah,
it's funny because they put like arrows. You ever see these? I don't know if they've got like one-way arrows by you, like down aisles and stuff like that. So nobody pays attention to the arrows, so the carts are always going the wrong directions. And I was like, this is perfect for Doofy because he is so like, nope, wrong way. I'm blowing the whistle. I made this lady in a rascal do like a K-turn in an aisle, you know what I mean? She's like hitting cans and stuff. I'm like, wrong way.
So good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'll send you a link when I get it up. So
yes, please. You've got to.
It's going to be a part. It's Johnny Boy. It's going to be a part of the Doofy for President, Doofy 2020 campaign. I'm going to put out shirts and everything. So that'll be. I don't know. I'm going to launch that.
You might steal valuable votes.
I might. I don't know. Well, if they're really valuable, then hopefully somebody will pay me to get those votes back. Then. Holy shit! That's valuable. I think a lot of people do think I'm going to be a spoiler for Kanye. I think they do.
Yeah.
I think Doofy might take a few votes away from Kanye.
No, I actually think the data is there already, and it says that's the case.
Yeah, I might end up with more. I think Doofy could beat Kanye because, like, I think like more people would vote for Doofy out of like, oh, fuck this whole thing, Doofy. I don't think anyone's going, fuck this whole thing, Kanye. So then he's only going to get some serious people being like, I think Kanye could be a great leader. Hold on, like so. I think there's more people that would just vote for shits and giggles that they hate everything. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm not voting for any one of these guys. It's Doofy. You know? So I'm on,
that's my ticket.
Yeah, exactly. That's the ticket I'm running on. It's me and I'm going to have Beetlejuice as my Surgeon General. Oh, no. I'm going to have him. My Surgeon General is going to be the doctor actor on the Addiction Network commercials or something like that.
Hells yes.
So what's been going on, dude? What has been going on with you? Are you out there in New York during all this or what?
Well, I spent the first half of it in L.A., and then me and my girl came out here. She's from here, too. And then right when we came here, the shit just flipped, and all of a sudden L.A.'s got it real bad. And so now we're just here for right now, you know? I mean, shit, ain't a lot of work for me or whatever there is I can do from here. So,
well, there wasn't no work in L.A. either because they shut it all down, right? I mean,
pretty much no. I mean, you know, I'm a actor, no work there. Director, no work there. And a DJ, definitely no work there. So,
well,
like they literally have a thing in New York. It's like no DJing allowed. You cannot cause like entertainment.
Yeah. You
do not
DJ
stand in a window and DJ. Do not.
You couldn't do like a digital DJ room or something like that, you know? Like
there is
cool,
that. There is like it has like there's a whole world on Twitch of DJs, but no, I did not jump on that bandwagon. So I just been you know, enjoying the global surrender, really.
Right.
What the fuck? Fuck it.
I wonder what I wonder if anybody's like managed the absolute like perfect social distancing job. Like, what would that be? Parking lot.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a graphic designer who makes the posters and stickers of the arrows that go on the floor of Walmart.
Oh,
those motherfuckers are busy as fuck and have been. I mean, every single business has a sign that says 6 feet, another 6 feet. I mean, every single one.
Yeah.
So somebody's getting rich.
They went, as soon as they were done printing up the arrows and the feet and all the like little like, you know, have you ever gone in the elevator? It looks like Dance Jump or whatever, that video game or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's actually like feet where you're supposed to stand like it's a dancing instruction. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're all facing. They're all facing the wall. Like you like I want to go in there and face the wall or whatever. And like it's like only for, you know, that tells you how to stand in the elevator to be 6 feet from each other. And
but you're giving me ideas. We should go around to like big municipal buildings and put in bad direction stickers. Like right up against the corner of an elevator.
and put like and have them be like those 70s fuzzy feet. stickers that they used to have. Remember those 70 Fuzzy Feet stickers? You guys might be too young.
No, the Hang 10. Hang 10.
Yeah, the hang with the toes, like it's actually barefoot stickers.
Please take your shoes off.
I love that idea of like, yeah, that's a great idea because that whole sort of like Shepard Fairey, Banksy kind of street art thing of like just like, you know, subversively printing up more sticker stuff to be in other places because there was these in LA, you're gone now, but in NoHo they put up these what's called slow streets. And the signs for the slow streets now have all this other stuff, like wear the mask and 6 feet away and watch out for the kid on the scooter. Like, it's just too much stuff. And I was like, you can't even read as many rules on it. I can't even read it. And I was like, we just got to go out one night, scan that, and even add more. You know, so if anybody actually took the time to read all the different things, it would be like, don't collect butterflies. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Yeah. Don't tickle ants. You know, like don't tickle whatever. So
don't tickle ants.
Yeah.
I think we should just go get bulk live, laugh, love posters and then just add in a mask. In a mask, please.
Right. You might be like the 12 Monkey guy though, because if it like was blowing up in LA while you were in New York, no, you were in LA and it was blowing up in New York, then you left and then it's not LA and you're so you know, are you sure you're not like the guy that's just like dumping a canister of virus and getting out? And come on, you could be honest. It's cool here. Nobody's going to know except for everyone listening to the podcast.
Oh, all right. It's all just to fund my graphic design business of floor arrows. More floor arrows. No, I'm here. Creech, are you here?
I'm definitely here.
You got me and Creech, but no Dave Sheridan.
But no Dave.
I'm here now. What do you think?
There he is.
Am I in?
He's in.
I just figured out. I know what I had to do. I was on the hotel's Wi-Fi, and it was switching me on and off because I was at this hotel. So I just turned off the hotel, so I'm on my actual.
What hotel?
bars.
What hotel are you at? And don't call your backyard pool a hotel.
No, it's the Hilton. I'm not going to say it's in San Diego, Hilton San Diego, but I'm not going to say
it's not the Sheridan Sheraton.
Yeah, the Sheraton.
There you go. That's what I thought.
I'm in Del Mar. I don't know what these guys are doing. Hey, it's a party here, man.
Del Mar.
Actually, yeah.
I don't know why that's funny to me.
It's nice because they got a dog beach here, so like this is a dog hotel. They like like most of the guests have dogs with them, and then you go to the beach, kind of like it's not across the street, but it's a couple blocks, and then dogs are allowed to be on the beach and stuff, so it's nice.
Oh, that's cool, Dave.
Yeah, we
gotta link up when I'm back in LA.
Yeah, when do you think that'll be? When will you be back on the West Coast?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I think probably mid-September or early fall. Let's say that.
Yeah.
That seems safe.
September is good. October, I'm booked a lot in October right now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Well, most of it's conventions now. Like I told you, those horror conventions are just they're good, man. I mean, I enjoy them.
How do I get down with that? I want to get down with that. I've been in a lot of horror movies.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
We could talk, and then I can tell you which ones to do, and then which ones will be good for you, etc. Because you don't want to do you just want to go do the biggest ones and just make a lot of money, and then meet the most amount of fans and be done. You know what I mean? It's not something like you want to. But
right.
But for me, I'm a little bit older than you, and so I'm collecting money for my kids' college education at this point.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what the one thing I discovered, and Creech knows this. That's actually Creech. Isn't that how I met you? I met you on the Walking Dead stuff, right? When I did the Walking Dead stuff. And then you had a Walking Dead podcast, right? But since then, I brought you into the conventions, and it's really the horror conventions have the horror in general has the fans are dedicated. They're very dedicated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I funny enough, I grew up going to those horror conventions because I was like a little horror nerd when I was a kid.
Right.
And I used to like go and like I wanted to do makeup effects for horror movies. That's like was my dream. And I used to like go and try to meet like Tom Savini. I used to go to like all the Fangoria conventions in New York at the Roosevelt Hotel every year. Yep.
Tom is still doing it too, man. I see Tom out at the conventions. He's still there.
That's so rad. He's the man. Tom is the man. Big shout out Tom Savini.
Exactly.
The legend.
But basically they're just so dedicated and then once I did Devil's Rejects, that was the entry point. And when I did that Rob Zombie movie, then it was like, wait a second, I didn't even know about it. And then they were calling me going, we're having the Devil's Rejects cast reunion signing, and I was like, what? And then see, the thing is that Devil's Rejects movie had all these horror icons in there. It was like Sid Haig and Bill Moseley and PJ Souls and Michael Berryman and people, and I'm like, I've already said this on the podcast before. I wasn't a big horror fan. I'm still not a horror fan, but now I'm a student of horror, because I'm like trying to always break down and understand how horror movies effectively work, like a Get Out, like how that was so good, and like, okay, why is that really good and why is Countdown terrible? You know what I mean? Like, where did they fail at Countdown? I don't know if you ever saw that film Countdown. It's like they get a nap and it says you're going to die in 5 minutes, but it seems like a great premise, but it didn't work. You know what I mean? It didn't work. It wasn't well written and well produced or anything, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to, in some ways, it's like you got to stick to the formula, but flip the cliches. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you keep the same familiar rhythms, and then whatever the cliches are, flip it. If the fucking cat jumps out from behind the garbage can, then, fucking have a dog jump out instead. I don't know. Some shit like that.
Well, here's the thing. Just to let you know, you just said exactly what comedy does, too. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what comedy does. And that's what we did. And by the way, that's why Scary Movie is still, like, going somewhat crazily. It's in a weird way. And let's just talk about that for a minute, because you and I really reconnected a lot. I don't think a lot of people know this. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast, but in interviews I have. But if I was to say, like, oh, who was your best friend on set, or who did you meet that you really dug? It was you and I, if you remember. We were like, we really connected and hung out. And but when we made that movie, I know none of us thought that thing was going to blow up like it did. To go six movies deep, and because the scary movie franchise has actually made more money in the box office than like the Halloweens or the Friday the 13th or any of these movies, mainly because those movies came out so long ago when they weren't making that much money. The first 13 Friday the 13th were all before 1995 or whatever, so it didn't when tickets were $3. So Scary Movie got the luxury of go ahead.
It was definitely like at that weird little pocket of time when like horror wasn't so prevalent, like it was like a little dip, and also like obviously that kind of comedy wasn't so prevalent. But I should also say that like I love kind of the comedic horror films. I mean, Scary Movie's like one end of the spectrum, but like the kind of like really, I don't know what the word is. They're the most terrifying to me. Like, I don't know if you've seen Return of the Living Dead, but like Return of the Living Dead has this sort of like camp, weird vibe, and it's like super fucking frightening, or like, what's the Creep Show? Like, it's Father's Day and you forgot my cake. Like, it's like that kind of shit is like, it just does something to your brain. You're like, I don't know what to feel. It's like, it's just really puts you in a weird place, and I fucking love it. And I think like there are moments of Scary Movie that are actually like, it's good. Like, it's really good horror, I mean, I know it's like ripped off from like a million other things, but there's also like some moments that are original to it that are like really fucking scary,
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, in terms of like when people say like a spoof movie and they lump it with a Naked Gun or an Airplane or a Not a Teen Movie, the one thing you could say about Scary Movie is because of what it actually spoofs, more than the other ones after it too, because we were just taking I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream and just basically putting them in a blender, but we were running a linear storyline, and it really followed the most linear story than most of the other ones do. And and because of that, it was able to track some sense of character arc on people. And that way it did create these kind of darker, slightly scary moments, in a weird way, or at least some serious tones. And then going back to your point about horror movies in general, real horror movies, which is one of the things I still get cast in on all these horror movies, is I still am kind of responsible for creating a little levity in the movies, because in order to make the person re-scare, you got to reset. You can't keep going scare, and then it's like, ooh, ooh. You can't do jump scares.
Right.
Because they have to kind of get comfortable again. They have to be like, oh, okay, now that part's over. Wait, let me soak into the characters a little bit more. Oh, this guy made me chuckle just a little bit. And then they're ready to get scared again. You know what I mean? So, or not quite scared, but the horror part. So if you just have, and that's what happens when sometimes it's just too much blood and guts. Well, that's just like a Marvel movie when you walk out of a Marvel movie going like, that was nothing but a testosterone fight the whole time. It was a nonstop action scene. And you don't have your breath anymore. You got to give them time to breathe. So
you do.
Levity
and it's funny though, because like I think that there are people who get it and they love it and it works. And then like I have this. A movie I directed called Clover just came out April 3rd. That was a shameless plug. And
we were gonna try to plug it too. I was trying to work it in every time, but once I start talking,
good.
I'm like, damn,
it was,
fuck, I was supposed to.
It was a great segue because, Clover is like a crime comedy, and like, I feel like a lot of those like, movies that I grew up with in the 70s and the 80s, and even partly in the 90s, all the way up to like Tarantino, honestly, and Rodriguez, like, they ride a fine line. And some people don't get that. Like, they want it, they want one or the other. And, like, when they can't get one or the other, they're, like, totally just shut off from it. But then there are people that totally get it, and it works on them. And, I think, it's even, like, you can even break it down to, like, dramedy, too. Like, there's, like, that's, like, a bad word. But, like, I prefer that shit. Like, I prefer a fucking dramedy or a, or a funny, scary film, or a this or that. It's like, that's what fucking life is, and you make a good point. Like, you do have to kind of, like, let people breathe a little bit and then hit them with the next, the next thing. I get bored when it's, like, just a fucking sustainable jump scare film. It's like, okay,
Right. I like how, like, dramedy is like the dramedy and comedy, but nobody's ever gotten that horror comedy. It's like, it's a horimedy, or a it's a horimedy, or a
Camarara.
It's a Kimura. Oh yeah, Kimura, man. What do you think? It's kind of a Kimura type of film. Like what is that? Like a Japanese thing? I don't know what the hell a Kimura is. It's a comedy horror.
I need to get booked at a Kimura convention. That's my zone. I think Kimura.
It's like you could either have horamedy, which is like, what is that? Well, that's like, is that when like the vein pops out two sides of your ass? No. It's horamedy is like a horror comedy, So, yeah. But that's the other thing I was saying about the comedy fans versus those horror fans. Like I said, the horror fans are passionate and they're very like they're just dedicated. You know what I mean? There isn't a line of people for comedy going like, oh my God, I'll watch anything you put out and I'm going to pay for you to sign, your whatever, your rubber chicken. There's no one like standing in line to get rubber chicken signed, It's sort of like they get machete. I want the fucking machete signed.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody's standing in line to get Gallagher's mallet signed or like, a carrot top trunk signed or whatever, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Dave.
Yeah, of course.
I also
yes,
have,
you're in line. I
collection.
know you're in line right now, but I'm just saying there's nobody else behind you in line, right? There's no one there, right? I'm just trying to confirm this because I know you're there. So.
Well, I am. I'm in line at the Sheridan.
Yes. Hey, so how can I honestly, I want to check, how do I check out Clover? How do I check that out?
Well, Clover is available on demand and nationwide. We just made a foreign distro deal, so it should be global soon. And any day now we'll be doing a SVOD release, a streaming release, but I don't know which platform is going to pick it up yet.
Right.
And
so soon it will be available streaming, but you can get it on demand on like cable outlets or something.
Cable providers nationwide, Amazon Prime, Tubi, Quibi, whatever. Not Quibi actually. You can't get it on Quibi. And then all those outlets currently, and any day now we should be up on a streaming platform. So if you're a subscriber to a Netflix or an Amazon or a whatever, you can just stream it. You don't have to rent it. But rent it.
Creech,
help us out.
You watched
help
it, right?
Out.
Didn't you watch it, Creech?
No, I have not watched it yet. I am looking forward to it. I saw the trailer. It looks really good.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Now,
we've got some.
I know.
We've got.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Well, we've got some good horror people in it. My man Ron Perlman is in it, and I was going to say Chaz Palminteri, but I don't think Chaz Palminteri's ever been in a horror movie. And if he is, I really want to see it. Well, he's been in Clover. And, here's the thing. I kind of treated Clover like an homage to all those sort of crime films that I grew up loving. But it also, I came to it with the kind of like horrific gore kind of mentality that I love. So it's a bit of a horror film in a way. It's definitely gory as fuck. It's very gory. So if you like gore, watch Clover. If you like horror-comedy, watch Clover.
If you like Chaz Palminteri, Ron Perlman, Jonny Abrahams, and there's somebody else. Who I saw somebody else.
Here we go. We got myself. We've got Ron Perlman, Chaz Palminteri, Jessica Zor, Julia Jones, Erica Christensen, Tashina Arnold. We've also got Jake Weber, Mark Weber, Nicole Berger, Louis Lombardi. Who else could I go through? It's a pretty large cast of characters.
Where'd you shoot? In New York, in Long Island? Where'd you shoot?
Yeah, no, we shot in Buffalo, and I shot my first film all at once in Buffalo as well, which is a great thing. I just completed, actually, an erotic horror film that I shot in Kentucky, which will be coming out soon. That's called Exploited, and it's a sort of webcam fetishistic horror film set on a college campus, and it's definitely NC-17. So look out.
Here's what I would do then. Here's what I would do. So you already put that in the can. You already directed that, right?
Yes, it's done. It's in.
You directed it? Did you write it?
I directed it. I did not write it. No.
Got it. What I would do on the horror convention then is wait until you're ready. Wait until that is ready to come out, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be on the VOD.
Promote it.
Then basically we could book you on the circuit for a tight 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, because they're on weekends, so it's not that many. You do 5 maybe, but you would then screen a trailer, do a panel, and then sign.
Let's do it.
You'd basically because that's the key is then it's like you're literally micro marketing to a macro audience, meaning you're direct marketing to the fans that film while you're actually getting paid to you're making money. So that's the thing I always tell these filmmakers. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I would like nothing more, and I do really feel like I wanted to do it with Clover. We came out. We were supposed to come out in theaters, and we were due out in theaters April 3rd, and then we foregoed the theatrical release and just went straight on VOD, which was sort of a bummer for me, but because I made the movie for a big screen, and it's like that's still how I think of movies. But it's like I'm all about the kind of hit the ground tour to promote the film. I think you have to do that when you're making any sort of independent film. It's so important, and so I'm right there with you, man. I would love to do that, for Exploited. I would love to do it in general, obviously. It's a market that I have yet to tap into that I would really love to be involved with. So,
well, what's good is I've done it now, and I've done them all. Like, I've pretty much there's a few down in the South. The Texas ones are really big. I haven't hit those yet, but I have all the numbers of people. Every time you do one, then somebody else goes, this guy's name's Chet. He runs those 3 big ones. Call him. You know what I mean? So I just have been collecting the Rolodex. And there's agents now that I know, booking agents and stuff. But ultimately, there's like 4 or 5 guys that run them all. You know what I mean? Ultimately, it's like there's one guy, Bill, that now, because I basically said to him, I go, dude, I love these ones called Days of the Dead, and that's what I'm going to do in October. I'm doing Days of the Dead in Vegas on the 17th, and then I'm doing Days of the Dead in Indianapolis for the Halloween weekend. And you know me, I don't know what it is about me, but I'm more comfortable just going like, I know this convention. I know the guy that runs it. I know the people that work it. I know to me, it's like, I just feel like I know what to expect. Sometimes you go to ones and it's like, that's how it's set up? What are you talking about? This guy, it just makes sense to me, the routine of it. Like, oh, you're going to do these signings, and there's a party here, then your photographs at this time. And so I'm just like, this is great. He knows me. I know him. So I told him, especially with all this situation happening, I said, dude, I just want to do, if I'm going to do any, it's just Days of the Dead this year. That way it's just easy for me. But like I've had phone calls where like there was one in Gettysburg that got canceled, but it was going to be like a scary movie thing. It was going to be me and Lachlan and I think Sherry O'Terry. So
amazing. Yeah.
So to me, I would basically help you out and say, let's book something like that. So it's kind of under the guise of a reunion thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, but you're also promoting your stuff and getting a panel that way, so. Yeah,
man, for sure. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm down.
And then Johnny's got to put me in his 4th movie that he directs. What the hell? I never.
Well,
Creech.
1,000%.
Yeah, because do you know who Creech is? Do you know who Creech is involved in wrestling, professional wrestling? Creech, tell him how much you weigh. Seriously, go ahead.
It's like 4 something last time I checked.
4 something. 4 something last time he checked. That something is like a number like 75 or 99. So it's like 4 something really means 499. Okay. So unless you want King Kong Bundy to like lay out on Johnny there, I think the 4th movie, Sheridan needs a little call. What the hell, man?
I'll do it. But Creech, are you only like 3 feet tall?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, I'm a little taller.
Oh,
I'm like 5'11", 6.
Yeah,
okay,
he's 6.
well,
he's average height.
Yeah.
He's not 6'7" or 6'8".
Yeah. If you were like 3 feet tall and not much, I wouldn't be that scared. But now I'm scared.
Yeah. He's imposing, dude. It's like, yeah. I would be really scared, dude. Yeah. If he was taller, though, he wouldn't look as big because eventually you do look big no matter if you're really big and tall, but those really big guys, they can carry their weight. You wouldn't even know that they're 400 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Some of them because they got the height, but Creech has the mass, man. He could basically charge and just crush someone. Human cannonball, we call him.
That's a great wrestling.
Creech, because Johnny's got to go soon, but did you get questions from people? What are some of the questions for the fans?
We'll do. I know. I have one from Brian Jones who loved your character in Meet the Parents, and he was wondering if you had any fun stories from the filming of that, and 2, why we never got to see your character really again.
All right, so let me answer the first question first. The best thing I can say is probably that working with Bob De Niro is just as awesome as you would think it would be. And he's such a good actor that the scene in which he finds the pipe in my pocket and I blame it on Ben Stiller, he like grills me about it, and I literally forgot that I was acting in a movie with Robert De Niro, and I like legit thought it was my dad scolding me and was afraid for my life. And you can see it in the movie. Like, that's the take they use. Like, my reaction is 100% real because I was just, like, terrified for my life as that character. And that was, like, no pre-thought. That was all on Bob De Niro and his eyes, you know? So I definitely, that always stands out to me. But that's another one, too, where you kind of, like, were like, man, this is just, like, everything's gelling like crazy. But you didn't really think it would be the universal, like, smash that it is, much like Scary Movie. Like, I don't know if it's the same for you, Dave. I bet it is. Like, it doesn't matter where I go in the world or what kinds of people I meet from all over the world. Like, they all love Scary Movie. It doesn't matter who they are, you know, like rich, poor, Chinese, Australian, like whatever the fuck, you know, South American, like they love it. And it's the same with Meet the Parents. And then, wait, what was the second question? Well, the second question is kind of a buzzkill, shameless promotion of Dave Sheridan's old show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the actress who played my sister who's getting married in Meet the Parents, sadly and tragically passed away in between Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers. And I think that, like, they had a hard time rationalizing bringing, you know, all the secondary characters back if, like, she wasn't going to be there and blah, 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 blah. So that's my understanding. I wish I could give you, like, a more juicy, fun answer. But I think they just said I went to boarding school or military school or some shit. I would have loved to be in Meet the Fockers. Who knows? That also is getting its 20th anniversary in October, I think, or, like, November. It's kind of crazy. You know,
right?
Those two movies are fucking 20 years old. It's a trip, and I look younger than I did 20 years ago. No, I was kidding.
I know, right? You haven't aged a day.
No, it's crazy.
Well, the good news is most of the people in Scary Movie, including Marlon, honestly, I'm not like trying to say I haven't aged, but I mean, I think we've all held on to there isn't like some like I'm not like I don't look like Creech. I'm not 400 pounds and like I'm bald now or something with a scar on my face. Right.
Yes. We've all like, you know, aged gracefully and well somehow. It's not like would be good. You're not like, oh God, look at that person. You know, whoa, what happened to them?
That would be kind of funny though. We did like a reunion like that, and then I just send Creech in. Like squeezed into the doobie outfit. Like, yeah, the only one that let himself go was Dave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll hire like an old man to go as me.
Jonny, let me ask you a question. Do you remember seeing me on set the first time as Doofy, or like in a room at a reading? Was I committed to the character at that point? Because I can't remember, but I've been telling people like I walked into the cast reading as Doofy. You know, like. But
you totally did, and I always remember. Okay. Yeah, I always remember like a ferry ride that we were all on to go shoot in Victoria, and you were like full on being Doofy, and like you drank a whole bottle of hot sauce, and I was like, oh my God, this dude is amazing. Like you actually drank it, and I remember like the look. I remember like the instant solidified props from Marlon Wayans for that one. Like it was just like instantly like they were like, oh my God, he's the man. Dave Sheridan's the man.
And I know
everybody else.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that because it was like a 2-hour ferry ride or something. Like I took the fucking life preserver and I found one.
The life preserver.
Because I thought I was going to drown. I'm like, I'm going to drown. Yeah, I'm scared of the water. And then they had to go get, like, the captain and stuff and take me, like, you could sit inside with us, son. I was like, I had to commit the whole time. I didn't want to be like, dude, I was just doing a bit. I was like, oh, shit, the captain.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the captain's, like, you know, you can come on deck with us. It's totally safe. I'm like, yeah, it's safe. They like you here the whole time. I'm like, what am I into?
So amazing. They like gave you wings. They gave you flight wings for visiting the cockpit.
Yeah.
They were like, you ever play Gladiator, Doofy? You ever watch a Gorilla Man shower, Doofy? Was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there when you got to go up with the captains? That would have been crazy. That would have been a crazy cyclical event.
Roger.
At least.
Yeah.
You guys
exactly.
get that shameless airplane reference?
I did. Roger. Got it.
That's right. Yo, man, I'm so happy to be on the show, guys. This is awesome. Thank you for asking me to join.
No problem.
Love you guys. God bless. Be safe. Peace.
You too, John. All right.
I'll see you at Dave and Creechers. Peace. Yeah. Bye.
Welcome back, guys. Like I said earlier, we've got a ton of new content that's being uploaded and is already on the Dave and Creech Show YouTube. If you want to check out that Sex Drive cast reunion, all the Doofy 2020 stuff, there'll be more stuff. I don't even know what it is yet, honestly, but we'll be adding a lot more stuff and past content onto this page. So make sure, if you haven't already, you like and subscribe. Like I said with this interview, if you're wondering why this one was audio only, this is because we did that interview before we started doing the new video thing. So the Sex Drive cast reunion, the Damien Maffei podcast, our interviews are going to be more like that from here on out. So, well, I guess that's going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you again for watching, or if you let it play and listen to it, I don't know. And thank you for listening to the Dave and Creech Show.